Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. It is Sunday night, and not just any Sunday night, it is Easter night, and we are here live and in effect, waiting for the markets to open up in just about a minute or two. They're open now, but it takes about 2 minutes to propagate over on Kitco's site, and now it's showing as open, and this will be one example as to whether or not I was right in my speculation, a rather bold speculation that we may see prices drop through the week because of some news with regards to the war and with regards to employment numbers and a couple of other things that I think should lead to prices falling. And that includes numbers from Turkey that have increased in their selling of gold. And look at that. It looks like, at least from the open, that is the case. Silver falling. Now, usually this is a pretty big snap reaction. It happens usually at the open of the markets where there's a snap reaction, selling or buying strongly, and then things tend to even out. So these may seem like fairly big numbers at the very beginning, but it could even out and it could go into positive territory. Remember, this what I had speculated, which is pretty big. I usually don't do that. I usually don't talk with such confidence on what I think is going to happen to silver or gold, although my prediction was more related to gold than silver. And look at that. The board has been cleared. This is interesting. We went from down to being nothing. I've never seen this before. Is Kitco glitching at this point? I'm not sure. But now it's back again. It's crazy. Let me just refresh this and see what we've got here. Platinum is now in the green. And so gold has fallen a little bit here. And silver somewhat subsiding here somewhat a little bit from what we saw just at the open. So this could turn around the other way. I could be completely wrong in my speculation. I say that, although I kind of doubt it at this point. But nonetheless, no one should make any decisions based off of what I say. No matter how confident I may be, I could still be wrong. Because no one knows the future. I don't care how professional of a technical analyst you are, or what you know. Anything can change for any reason at all. Anyways, yeah, we see cooling issue. That's right, Jam Unleashed. By the way, good to see you guys here. Appreciate you all being with me here tonight on this Easter night. I hope everybody had a good Easter weekend. Resurrection Day it is. And so there's where the numbers are right now. We're going to revisit those, obviously, frequently tonight. But in the meantime, what we'd like to do is answer some of your comments. And we're going to go through that right now and see what some folks are saying here. We've got Not One AU about the gold shock here. I've heard big banks selling gold and countries selling gold. Who is buying this gold? Prices go down. Yeah, I can buy more. Prices go up. I better buy before it goes higher. I know, as usually is a thing. But basically, it's being sold essentially to usually some of the larger exchanges. Likely is probably what's happening. And depending on where it is and how they do that, through Switzerland, some of the refineries there take it and it gets sold off. Maybe further refined down into bars. It could be sold to consumers or to other nations. May pick it up, but we'll see how it plays out. But glad you guys are here with me tonight. Let's peruse our way through as we slurp our coffee on this Easter night and get to another comment or two before we check in again on the markets. All right, roll with it. 5150 says this: I only stack silver. Gold I cannot afford. I will keep stacking until our currency is worthless. How long? Who knows? Yes, well, if you don't have any gold at all, I would encourage you to get a little bit, even if it's just a couple 10th-ounces or even gram bars. You can find good deals on those from some bullion dealers. And the channel sponsor here is Summit Metals. Check them out as you're shopping around. But nonetheless, it's always good I think it's good to diversify, and gold is a good way to diversify, I believe, from your silver stack. There's a lot more options now. But anyways, thank you for that. Let's see here. We got NH Free Energy on the 2026 dime video. It says, what about the obverse? All the focus is on the reverse side I'd like to hear your observations on the obverse of the dime. Thanks for the videos. Yeah, well, that's where the controversy was with the video. But I love the design. I really do. The obverse is I like it better than the reverse, but that's not controversial because it's Lady Liberty and the like, and it's just a great rendition of Lady Liberty. So I'm a fan of the obverse of this dime, especially the obverse. It's a great version of Lady Liberty. All right. Let's see. I'm absolutely ready to do nothing. All right, there you go. All right, on Silver Stackers Beware. Yep, and sometimes that's the best thing to do is to do nothing. Just wait and see what happens. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, so let's take a look here again. Look at this. The markets, silver is down. In fact, James Alicia just told me if we look at the markets, we've got a big gap down. And there it is, the gap down is what we're seeing here with massive selling off here, down $1.04 right now. So it could be just that Kitco was just kind of, I mean, we can see at the market it didn't sort of start that way, but it is a gap down, pretty substantial here. So this could be playing out, but who knows how long this will last. Right now, we're starting to see a first sign of buys at this point. We can see there the green support here, the green candles. And the stick is pointing to the upward direction, not as much. The little wick is not as high here, whereas this downward wick is pretty big there. All right, so there we go. All right, so there that is. Thank you, JM. We'll keep an eye on this, but right now, down $1.04, 1.43% to $72.11. Gold down $41.40. Platinum down 2, palladium down 20. So happy Easter to you all. Glad you're here with us tonight. And watching the markets move here in real time. It is so far down, but who knows? This may not last long. We can see a recovery here. But it could be based off of the news that I talked about last week, which is why I made my fairly bold short-term prediction. Shinua says here, it's all in the selling, dropping the price, but it will stop at some point. Yep. At some point, there's going to be support here. And Bubble says error, my R. So he doesn't believe it's an error. I still believe it's an error. That would be fools if it wasn't done on purpose. My question. James Crow, I'm completely prepared to do nothing. All right. There you go. And not one AU on this video here about is gold about to crash, and I'll talk about the reason why, because of Turkey in this video. It says here this, the government has a total monopoly when it comes to the truth. They use the news to report on wars and what other countries are doing. The news isn't their only tool. They have Hollywood productions, that's true. They can go into a studio and produce what's happening in another country and never leave Los Angeles. How do people know it's really happening? And they don't, but they see it with their own eyes and they believe. I've seen a man in spandex and a cape flying on television, but I know he's not really flying. I was fortunate enough to enlist in the Marines, active duty, and go to war in the Gulf. I know it's a lie because I've lived it. Nothing they said happened really happened. Nothing. Yeah, the truth is oftentimes hard to discern from time to time, but sometimes we got to go with our gut instinct, and sometimes, especially knowing that you've been in the Middle East, not one AU. It really just depends on, and that can shape your point of view as well. And sometimes the shaping of that point of view can be distorted based off of the reality that was even on the ground. Sometimes even what you see on the ground may not be the full story. So people have to understand that. There you go. All right. Let's see here. Good to see Michael K is here. Happy Easter to you. Appreciate you guys. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. Very good. All right. And Glenn D says, you all know if Sal ever gets to his $120 from a scammer, he'll be immediately blow it all on gold. That's right, 120K. That's exactly right. I would definitely do that. Let's take a look at the markets again here. Silver still showing a downward side here, now down almost 2%. 1.88%. It did gap down, as James Unleashed had told us about here. And down $1.37 to $71.78. Gold is down $39.40 to $46.38. Platinum down 7. Palladium down 20. And I think that's because of the employment numbers, Turkey selling off some of their gold reserves more than expected, and the Iran war continuing to wage. And things are getting, and we're going to have D-Day here pretty soon, where Trump's going to take out some of the power plants and some of the other infrastructure that they feel that the regime is using. So very good. All right. All right. Early in the broadcast, earlier on this Easter night, we have some dips here for gold and silver, and it's one of those things where you ask yourself a question. Do I buy on the dips and buy from a company like Summit Metals here, or do we wait it out? Because could it fall even further? We just don't know. You have to weigh that for yourself. But either way, check out Summit Metals. They are the channel sponsor here. Check out their different services that they provide. A lot of different categories here. They do a great job, so check them out when you get a chance. All right. And we've got Ziggy says, central banks have been stacking gold heavily since 2009 financial crash. I expect some of these countries taking major profit. Well, it mostly was happening since 2022. Some have been, but not as many as you think. All right. Very good. Yes, indeed. That's right. And let's see here. And we've got the Maritime Stacker. If you have the cash to buy gold, I would not rush out and buy. I would hold for a couple of days. You might get a so-called deal. That's true. In fact, if you would have waited until tonight and bought right now when the markets are down now over 2%, and the thing is I cannot declare victory yet as to my predictions, because this could turn around literally tonight in my predictions for silver, especially going down. We're going to wait for a few days to see how this plays out. But nonetheless, if it does, I think if it stays down for the next week, then I would say, yeah, I was right. But, as volatile as the markets are, it may be choppy waters from now and then. But nonetheless, I think there's too much working against gold and silver now than not, which is why I think that the prices are likely to going to continue following here. Very good. Sabinator, good question. Let's see here. We have now opened, showing here that none of the countries are showing anything. Let's see. New Zealand is usually first. It's going to be opening up in 23, in a day. Well, that's weird. Okay. There are some markets opening, but look at this. That's a day. So I don't know what is open here, honestly. Or no, this is an hour. Okay, this is an hour, 45 minutes. And let's go back here to this. 23 hours. So New Zealand is closed. I guess for the Easter weekend, maybe they close on Monday. Same thing with that. But we're in pre-Asian trading. I think that's what's happening here. This is pre-Asian trading. What's going on there, I believe. So yeah. And so I don't really know exactly. I've heard that discussed, that it's pre-Asian trades that are occurring in between. So before the markets actually open up, you see some trades, and when the markets open up, then they'll react. But anyway, it's good to see Robert Kemp. Good to see all of you guys. So Easter Monday, nobody working, but except in Western countries, Eastern countries, I don't think they celebrate as much there. So some of them are closed Easter Monday, yeah. So, but there's enough. The market is open, and the prices are reacting here. So we'll see here as likely when Tokyo opens up and Seoul opens up. The real big E-dub says here, every dip is a buying opportunity. The further the dip, the more ounces I add to the stack. There you go. I think so. That's a good idea. Dollar cost average for sure. All right. Let's see here. And what do we have going on here as we're watching these markets move to the downside and pre-Asian trades going on. We got David Phillips says, it's short-term noise. Look at the big picture. The debt cannot be repaid. Carry on. That's right. And, and on this channel, I talk about the short-term noise a lot. We talk about daily movements in the prices and what affects little other things that have an impact on the precious metal markets. Why do I do that? Well, this is essentially has become a precious metals news channel, but I also like to talk about the fundamentals and what gold and silver have been for thousands of years. I always discuss that. I sprinkle that information in my news because if I do videos just on those topics about the fundamentals, hardly anybody wants to watch those for some reason from this channel. I don't understand why. I'd rather more talk about that, honestly, than the news. But the news is pretty interesting and exciting and will drive markets but this is what this has become, and that's where a lot of the views come from. So I cover it here. John Green, give me 10% increase a year, and I will take that. Yes. Yep, I'm with you on that. That'd be nice to be able to get that. Maria Langley chimes in with this information here and says, I think it's more that they are using it as currency. Haven't you thought of that, Sal? What would you prefer, gold or paper? Depends into who you're buying oil from crypto. They're using it, they're selling it. They're not using it as a currency. I don't know what the people of I do not know what the people of Turkey actually do with their coins, if they actually use those for trades. I think they're probably saving it and using the lira and exchanging in and out of the lira. But yeah, they could be doing it, but the central bank is not using it as a currency. Make no mistake about that. They're selling it. They're plain out selling it. That's it. All right. To the moon, crush, blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, okay. Well, that's what I'm doing here. I'm talking about that. You don't like it, you don't have to watch. How's that? Jeff Shoe Smith. It's all bullish long term, but bearish short term. Let up, folks. The sale is good. That's right. It's bearish in the short term, and that bearishness is playing itself out right now. It's kind of hovering around this area, about 1.5% down $1.21 right now. Still above $70 though. Will it be able to hold above $70 from now to the end of the week? I don't know. Maybe I'll poll that and see what you guys think. Stick around here. I'll probably do that poll here. Happy Easter Resurrection Day. Appreciate you all being here very much. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let me start this. It's a simple yes or no poll. In fact, there's no other option but yes or no. I made it a binary choice. That's right. Or the one or the other. You have to pick one to participate in the poll. And if you do participate in the poll, do me a solid. That means do me a favor. Press the thumbs up button as well. In other words, there should be a two-step process. Poll vote and then thumbs up, please. It helps. Maybe this time it will work and people will do it. I'm hoping that everybody who participates in a poll will hit the thumbs up. Good to see you guys. Glad you're here with us tonight. We got Dean R, THS, Bozo, A-Dub. Welcome, A-Dub. Good to see Cybercurrent Twitcher is here. Johnny B. A lot of good folks with us tonight as we peruse our way through the markets here. The metals are down a fairly good clip here tonight, but it is still early and anything could happen. Silver Heist is here as well. Let's get back and see what some of you folks are saying here. We've got Sarum Choirmaster. It says here, all USA coins above a penny must contain silver and gold, period. No exceptions. Stick to the strict letter of the law within the Constitution. Well, that'd be nice, but that's not the way it is. It's not the reality. So, anyways, let's see here. All right. Let's see here. And where are we at? Astral Club says, I bought all my gold at $1,300 to $1,700 an ounce. Way to go. I'm good. It's my paper dollars that I'm worried about. No, I hear you on that. For sure, I'm worried about those too. All right, let's do a few more here on this video. And the problem is interest rates, he says. The assumption was that the central banks would sooner destroy the currency than let the economy crash and force governments into fiscal austerity. Obviously, if oil prices stay at ridiculous levels, that we are going to see high inflation. Even irresponsible governments can see the political danger of uncontrolled inflation. They want progressive debasement of the currency, not radical and obvious debasement. However, oil prices will inevitably crash, the war will end, and demand destruction will be brutal if oil prices stay high for long. The world economies are in a state of decline and structural change, and in the long run, deflation is a real possibility. This is when central banks will start printing big time to support entitlements and programs. All right, we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. Very good. And who bought from Turkey? Likely, probably. I don't know. I don't know who. If there's a single entity that does it, or other nations, or the Bank of International Settlements, or what have you. Probably through the Bank of International Settlements is probably my guess. And then it goes through the refiners in Switzerland and the like. Larry, when big banks sell gold, do they get hit with a $400 back of spot fee? Yeah, good question. Likely not. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Peruse our way through here and see what we've got happening on the other end with this comment from Chris Card, 24V. Then we'll take a look at the markets immediately after this comment. He says, if gold comes down 5 to 10% this week, probably start a dollar cost average monthly, probably 1/2 ounce. It feels strange because over the last 8 years, I would usually buy 1-ounce coins or 100-gram bars, and I never sell, just stack over time. Now I'm considering the balance between a structured DCA fractional versus lower premiums, maybe on a 2-month cycle with less structure monitoring the charts. Yeah, we always have to be agile in this market, for sure. We really do. We need to be agile. All right, let's take a look here and see what they're doing right now. Okay, silver continuing to show some pressure here. Now it's down 1 3/4 percentage points to $71.88. Gold down $41.20 to $4,636.80. Platinum down 7. Palladium down 17 right now. So there's where the numbers lay. Everything is in the red at a pretty good clip, with silver taking the most damage tonight right now. So there it is. Okay. And remember, anything over 2% in a few hours or even in a given day is a big hit on silver. It really is. All right. Let's see here. We've got this from the Sticky Dude. Turkey did it almost regularly to support its monetary system. For me, it's a bullish move. They did that, but any more gold into the system is not, especially at that pace, is not bullish. Wicked Sticky Flowers. Well, it's almost like you can find bad news every day. Yeah, I know. It seems like the last couple of days has been the case for gold and silver with some of what we've been seeing here. All right. Mo says this. If Bitcoin continues to stick around, then one day it will be older than the average age of a central banker, and that's terrible for gold from a psychological perspective, because if Bitcoin is older than a central banker, then he or she will develop huge confidence in it. Basically, they're thinking that will be Bitcoin is older than me, and I grew up with it, and I can trust it. But silver, platinum, palladium, and copper are metals that are really needed for industrial use, so they're truly unstoppable. The next generation of central bankers are playing their crypto game today. Yeah. Thing is even though there's industrial uses, they're still can be hit. They can be, and we've seen that happen plenty of times. Let's see here. We've got this from Cybercurrent Twitcher. I'm glad I have stacking patience. I last bought gold when it was at $4,400 an ounce, and be stacking cash and a little silver ever since. Way to go. That's right. Good job, Cybercurrent Twitcher, on that. Showing some patience is key. All right. Let's see here. Trade paper, silver, oil platforms like Schwab. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know those things were shut down. I thought you could trade on the off nights. I don't know. I don't mess with those, so I'm not sure. We've got Garden Gnome says here, physical demand doesn't move price. Forex trades of gold to the U.S. dollar and thousands of times above ground supply of gold and traded daily. Yep, that's right. It's paper trades. It's speculators. It's the futures market that moves price based off of all of the things that I talk about on this channel. Rick says, tulips were a good store of value. Waiting for 30-ounce silver. Not a fan of gold. Killed in silver 4x in 40 years. Yes, you can time the market. Okay, well, all right. Killed in silver 4x's. I'm not sure what you mean by that. $30 an ounce silver. I don't think we're going to see that again. I highly doubt it anyway. I guess it is a possibility, but I believe it's probably going to go back down to 50 and show support around that area. Let's see here. Kondal, your Trump is effing up the whole world. Thank you for your attention to this matter, all right? Somebody doesn't like Trump, little TDS action there, okay? Feel free to speak your mind. I don't mind when people speak their mind, no matter what. It's all good. I don't mind it. As long as you don't insult, it's fine. Very controversial video I posted yesterday. Very controversial. I know I lost a whole lot of subscribers from it, but I don't care at this point. All right, Jeff Shaw, if you have gold, it's best to hang on to what you have. It really is. That's for sure. C130, we'll do a few more of these from this video here, and then we'll get back to the last couple of days' videos. I don't pay attention to the metrics. I buy silver because I like it. If it winds up being worth something, isn't that better than having an addiction to something that you can't see anymore? Because my addiction is right here, all of it. Yep, I agree with you. There's something about the physical in your hand that is pretty wild. Yes, indeed. All right, very good. Let's see here. Let's get over here to the rooster. We all continue to be lied to by those that stand, but reality sit as leaders. If you're in the metals, it's a long road. They want us to on our heels always. Thanks, Brother Sal. In the end, if we have something in our hand that has historic value, that transcends propaganda, transcends the media, transcends the nation states, there's something simple and comforting about that, because we hold something of value that for in and of itself. We got Eric says, I just bought a half ounce today, so this is probably the near-term top. I'm good at knocking down the price by buying. There you go. All right. And let's see here. If you think the Iran war is only going to last 2 or 3 more weeks, you have been completely taken by politicians who are willing to manipulate you at all costs. Iran has been preparing for this war for 20 years. How many times are you going to believe the same lie? The U.S. couldn't win a war in Iraq or Vietnam, countries who beat them with low-tech insurgency. What makes you think they can take a much more technologically advanced mountain fortress? On top of that, the enemy actually has power to harm the world economy. All they have to do is hold out, threaten the strait, and bide their time. It's not winnable. It's the beginning of a global paradigm shift. Well, I think, Curious, you're missing the complete perspective. Trump has been very transparent about this. We're not going in there to invade and take over their country. The only troop movements that you may see in the country is to try to secure that 460 kilos of 60% weapons grade, near weapons grade uranium. That's probably it, or to get our people out and extract. But that's about it. We're not there to take over the country. We're there to prevent them from being a threat to their neighbors and to us, both nuclear and ballistic, and also to greatly reduce their ability to support terrorist proxies, like the Houthis. The Houthis and the Blowfish. We don't want the Houthis and the Blowfish to get any more funding from Iran, and we also don't want Hezbollah and Hamas to get any more funding and support from Iran. Anyways, but yeah, that's their goal there. So that's very, very different. So RMB, and I saw and behold a white horse and sat on him. Crown was given unto him, and forthcoming the conquest. Our leaders aren't elected; they are appointed. Okay. Well, our leaders are elected. Sorry, that's what's happened. Our leaders are elected. All right, let's see here. We've got the Mo says, the all-knowing bozo here is going to be crying when gold crashes. He should have bought silver and platinum. He didn't care that AI is going to gobble up the silver. He'll be haunted by Warren Buffett and Munger. All right, well, so far, gold and silver are falling right now, and silver's falling even more at this point in time. Now, see, the thing I like about gold is it gets hit. It doesn't get hit with the extremes as much, although it's been hit fairly extreme here lately too. And right now, it is down $40.70 to 46.37 Silver is down $1.20 right now to $71.95 in pre-Asian market trading. There we are. All right. Platinum is down 8. Palladium is down 15 right now. So there we go. Watching these markets move here in real time. We'll get back there again. OU Surf 2 says this. Let me get over here. He says, step 1, shovel dirt in classifier to bucket. Step 2, run dirt through sluice. And so there you go. So basically, he's telling you about how to pan for gold. All right, there you go. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Let's keep moving. We've got Jarvis Coog. Someone sold, but someone else bought it. Yes. That's true. That's true. But it's in the marketplace. I don't know. We'll see here. But you're right. That's what happens with gold. It's treasure. That's why it doesn't fall nearly as drastically as much as. But see, remember, it's about psychology of the markets. It's about the psychology of the markets. There are times to think and use your ears and eyes, touch and feel, and use your brain to think about what you hear. I heard on the 6th the market is going to crash on a bank holiday in Europe. I always say, do not live by fear, but by courage. Who thinks America is winning the war? Who thinks Europeans will not join the war? And that is when things will kick off. Oil will rise in price no matter what. The UK loves the Yobo culture. It's part of the history. All right, I don't know what Yobo means, but thank you, Maria. And Bjorn Lucent says here about gold and Turkey. Got in under 2K with gold, under 28 with silver, so I'm good. Expect another month of drops. Watch the options market, follow the money. Buy big buy-ins for puts and calls, usually foretell where prices go. All right, yep, indeed. And right now they are down. Let's see here. And Carolyn Pearson on this video about my prediction on silver. What is your source, Sal? Who reported the down aircraft? The IRGC? The source matters. What did U.S. Central Command say? What sources do you trust? Well, it's just it. I think it's common knowledge that the aircraft were down because U.S. Central Command admitted it too. Disseminating information is important to know what sources you can trust. And right now, it's very difficult to really make that discernment. So I look at both sides and see what they're saying. But I tend to believe Western sources more than I do pro-Iranian sources, obviously. But still, there's a little bit of truth that can come out, even from those sources. So you gotta just weigh it and decide. You gotta be intellectually honest. You gotta be open-minded during this. And there's too much of it, and I have my views, and I'm not shy about expressing those, but if there's real news that goes against the narrative, like air superiority or air supremacy, I think we have air superiority. I think that's without question. But do we have supremacy? I don't think so, at least based on what we've been seeing here recently. I don't think we do, or at least not fully. So, anyways. All right, let's see here. Camo dirt bikes, 1K downside, 5K upside. You should be okay in the long run. All right, yeah, there you go, exactly. And David Davy, a war is never over soon. It takes a life of its own. Well, and this is, but this is a little bit different. Times are a little bit different here, but you're right. It could last longer than what they say. It is quite possible. Father Duck says they're selling gold because they were not told to sell their bonds and treasury yields. They were told not to. Well, do you really know that? Are you speculating? I mean, I don't know. How do you know they've not sold off some of that stuff as well? Likely they probably have. No one can tell them not to do that. And buy gold and first, but sell off silver because it's about to go down to $40 to $45 an ounce. All right. Well, I would encourage you to hold on to your silver no matter what. But anyways, let's do one more here, then we'll get right back up to it. A lot of comments on this video. We're going to get into today's videos here in a moment. We might have to scroll up a little bit to get to them, catch some of these on the tail end. But nobody cares. Try to get a larger amount of any gold and silver to be delivered. It will not happen. Central banks are grabbing gold. India and China are grabbing silver. We are left with scraps of it and worrying about the price will crash. Sure, if there are thousands of empty contracts for every ounce, it might go up or down, but the real thing is hard to obtain nowadays in large amounts. What's in local shops is peanuts. Yeah, well, that's right. But most individuals like you and me are not going to be getting kilo-sized bars. Or 400-ounce bars. That's not in the cards for most of us. That's for sure. All right. Let's see what we have here. The metals are stabilizing to right about 1.5%, maybe a little bit more down for silver. $71.99 right now. Gold is down $42.30. $40.20 right now. 46.37. Silver back above 72, just barely here. Platinum down 5, palladium down 5. So everything is kind of in the red here, but they're stabilizing these numbers down. I'd made a prediction that we might see silver get hit fairly hard, and likely probably this week we're going to feel the effects of that, barring any other news, bad news, that would be good for gold and silver. I think we'll probably see prices suppressed or depressed through the week here. We'll see. But good to see you guys. Glad you're with me here tonight. Let's press on forward. What some of the other comments are saying, the global market is breaking away from the United States. The in and open manipulation is getting harder to ignore. The people across the world are stacking in a similar fashion as when Rome collapsed. All right. It's happening. A lot of happening. A lot of changes happening around the world for sure. Faisal Mirza, I'm happy to buy platinum and gold at the right price. Yes, me too. If it's the right price, I'm happy to buy it as well. I'm with you on that. Number one, gold. No need to be sold. There you go. That's right, Michael K. I love it. Short and distinct. That's exactly right. All right. Very good. Let us parade up through here. Thank you, Michael K. Appreciate your kindness here. And we've got Watching One on the video about the dime. Says the following. I'm not sure if I understand you. You're an old guy like me, so hopefully you understand that the symbolism of taking the olive branches off is not having to do with current affairs. Yep, that's right. It has to do with the perception of our country and our Christian values. This goes against the perception of our values. How are we supposed to be the shining city on a hill when we're turning away from our traditional values? Well, watching One, you don't understand me. I made it pretty clear in the video that was a time of emerging liberty during the revolution. It was symbolizing that we were done with olive branches. In fact, we didn't have a national symbol really per se, but it is kind of the eagle became it based off the freedom that we set our foundations upon, holding the arrows. It was a war, the Revolutionary War. That's what it was about. I mean, you're going to see the newest quarter is the Revolutionary War quarter. It's not going to be carrying flowers. The Minuteman is not going to be carrying flowers. He's going to be carrying a musket. That's right. Sorry if that offends you, but you can have Christian values and be in war. I mean, that's there's a lot of Christians that fought in the Revolutionary War, mind you. So, it really is. All right, thank you. Cybercurrent Twitcher, thank you. He posted a link to, if you want to get the Diamond Fist round, Cybercurrent Twitcher's been very kind to post a link to it there. And it looks like it's $81, so check it out. Appreciate that. And Alim says, I want one of these, even though I have added to my stack for a while. Does anybody know where they sell these besides U.S. Gold Bureau? Premium is a bit high, but I want one at least. Yeah, no, I don't know of any other place that sells them. They've gone in and out of stock. But anyways, Bluetooth blades, still paying on my 1/4 ounce gold buffalo, and picked up 10 wing dimes and 10 BU Rosa dimes that look freshly struck. I'm sitting on dry powder in case the market crashes again. There you go. Pretty wise. Very cool. All right. All right. Nice. Yeah. Let's see here. And on this video about the dime, Dean YG says this. I think most of the ideals of Lady Liberty are good. Hold on a second here. But I don't want to hear on there for the reason of immigration. That is what she is most known for. And we the people are tired of it and we want it to end. Well, Lady Liberty is very different than the Statue of Liberty. There's two different things. The Statue of Liberty is where that phrase was put in. That phrase really that was not really indicative of what it was all about either. And let's see here. Yeah, I think you're right, Cybercurrent Twitcher. I think somebody else's. I think there's a couple of other people that showed theirs in a video. So I have seen a couple of other people that have done that. They showed them in videos. But anyways, yeah. But I do appreciate you showing yours. And so we still need to escape the tyranny of their modern bureaucratic government. We need judges to follow the law. We need to end the surveillance state and tech companies who need our government to protect us from modern economic warfare. Yep, that's true. All right, thank you for your thoughts. Greg Cunningham, that's great. Drop the silver price back to $17 an ounce, and I will be there for the next day buying up 2 monster boxes. Well, I would almost be venture to say that's not going to happen again. With almost a level of certainty that I probably would be willing to bet on it if you gave me a time frame. All right, 5150, gold sold off immediately after 9/11 and the Gulf War II. That's right. Yep, history is a guide there. SSM 445 says an ounce of gold always has been worth living on for a month and a half. Right now, it's more like 3 to 4 months. Gold vastly outperforms inflation. Historically, the only comes in short bursts with a new base. Eventually, I stopped buying at 3,500, and I'm excited to see what the new level will be. Still guess it's around 3,200. Okay, so he thinks when everything calms down, it'll go back to that. And he could be right. I don't know. We shall see how it plays out. And let's see. Let's get to this, and we'll get to the markets again. Let's get over here. Okay, he says here, from Rain O'Dewars, I keep hearing such stories over and over. Yes, gold will have a massive hit. Silver will be big hit too. Yes, Turkey is selling some gold, but how much gold is being bought right now? Isn't the market fully controlled by paper assets? Yes. Maybe next week a short dip, but not that long. Look at the oil prices. Look at the inflation. People will turn to safe havens with their money really soon. It's a matter of months that gold will soar and silver will soar beyond imagination. The Crimex paper market will be crushed. Well, the thing is the paper markets react to the news rather irrationally many times. So the markets here that Turkey has sold off 50 some odd tons of their gold, they're going to react, and they're going to react negatively. All right, here we go. Hey now says, foreign central banks just sold off $82 billion worth of U.S. treasuries amid the Middle East conflict. Yeah, that's another thing, too. I'm going to watch out for. Richard Metcalf, one thing about gold is that somebody is selling, somebody is buying, but they're buying at lower prices. But you're right. Mike DeMonte says here about this situation, the interview that I had with Leo Gantz. Sunday will dictate the direction of gold and silver. April 17th will boost gold and silver prices. Buy the dip if you can. Buy gold if you're wanting to make money. Gold will never be this cheap again. Silver will be the poor man's gold. All right. Let's see here. Well, we'll see. I don't know what's happening on April 17th that makes you so confident it's going to go up, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's see what's going on in the market right now. And as you can see, prices are stabilizing. Pre-market trading. It seems like most of the bets have happened right now, at least until we see an opening of the markets in about 15 minutes. And Tokyo and in Seoul, I believe, will be happening. So we'll see what they say. But gold is down $38.60 to $46.39.40. Silver down $1.11 to $72.04. Platinum is down 7. Palladium down 12. So that's where we sit right now at this point in time as we continue to monitor what's going on there. And so they're down. And volume, by the way, for silver is relatively stable, but it's pretty marginal. It's not as light as it was. You know, let's look at that light trades there. It's up pretty good here in the pre-trading, but it is a little bit choppy here. So gold to silver ratio, I thought you'd never ask, 64.65. So climbing a little bit here with silver falling more than gold. All right, let's get back to it. C130, do you see it? Nobody knows what's going on, he says here from C130. The guy says it's going to 50. That guy says it's going to 200. I don't care where it's going. It's staying right here with me. That's exactly right. It's about holding on tight. That's in the end. Everything else is just noise in between. And if you're a stacker and hold on, then that's really all that matters. Stack to hold. All right. Let's see here. This one I got to listen to. Well, thank you, Zardoz. I appreciate you listening, my friend, very much. And on this interview yesterday from James Crow, I didn't know this Hasbro outlet joined 7K Club. Did you? I can just watch Fox News or CNN for that. You completely lost my respect. Goodbye. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, Hasbro outlet, but some people are easily triggered by this very controversial video, and they're going to go and say goodbye. That's fine. See you later. All right. And let's see here. And thank you, El Porcano, for the first super chat of the night, El Porcano. Thank you, sir, for the $4 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. First one tonight. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate your support. Carrie Taryn says, with some prayers, and thank you so much, Carrie Taryn. Littlefoot with a thumbs up. Thank you, Littlefoot. Really appreciate that, my friend. You are very kind. And Aaron, pick a lane. Well, I've already picked a lane. I've never not picked a lane. I totally feel the confusion. Why are you confused? I'm just focusing on cleaning out my node baskets. Melted them up. Got a couple 1 ounce silver bar molds filled. The bars weigh 47 grams. So there is some of the good stuff in there for sure. Time for nitric boil to remove silver and palladium. Okay. I'm still confused by your comment. By picking a lane. I don't know why you would say that. But Hunter Jones, since the arrows and olive branch have always been together, they should both be removed. Arrows alone is a political statement. No, it's not. It's a historic statement. Agree. Oh, El Porcano, thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Very kind of you indeed. All right. Thank you, sir. There he is. The second super chat of the night from the same as the first. Thank you, El Porcano. Very kind of you. And Old Route 66. Excellent insight by Leor. Sound the mention of him in the show notes. Well, I mentioned him right at the very beginning. So he's there. It's right in the video. Oh, man, Michael K. just sent a Salivate Metal gift membership. Thank you, Michael K. Tommy Carpenter received it. That was really helpful because maybe Tommy Carpenter will pop in here. And if he's not been around in a while. So it's a great outreach tool. Thank you so much, Michael K. All right. Let's see here. Whoa, Mark B. with a 20 spot. Thank you, Mark B. Wow, thank you, sir. Really appreciate that, my friend. Very kind of you indeed. Look at that from Mark B. One and the only. Oh man, appreciate that, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Bozo says $50 incoming. Could happen, could happen. And 013 says, hope so. I can get more. There you go. Nice, nice. Leor is a terrible person. Horrible takes as well. Called silver topping out at 40 in September. All right. Well, all right. You don't like them. Some people, they've got a lot of anti-Semitism in them, and there's a lot of Israeli hate by people in the precious metals community. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But anyways, let's see here. All right. We got Reggie Digi Dude. I'm rooting for gold. I'm married to silver. There you go. All right. And Javier Corral says, taking Venezuela and Iran's oil is what adults do. Word. So putting in Trump's offshore account is what adults do. How much of a cultist do you need to believe this? Well, you're a cultist if you think it's going into his account. That's cult-like beliefs, propaganda. So there's that. All right. Right or wrong, I listen to find the bigger picture. There are players I can't see messing with metals, so I gather as much as I can. And that leaves me to separate wheat from the chaff, beyond looking good, and those that ring true. There you go. Exactly, Martin. Be open-minded. Look at the information. Digest it. So, yes, indeed. And let's see here. We got Vinny Barbarino says, thank you for the interview, Sal. One of my childhood friends lives in Bat Yam, Israel, not far from Tel Aviv. He gives me updates in real time. Mainstream media definitely blows things out of proportion. Israel is used to these bombs flying in. They've been dealing with it since the beginning of time. Few cluster bombs won't deter them. Israel has had enough. They are going in it for the win. Thank you. There you go, Vinny. Yep, that's right. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's crazy how much Israeli hate and propaganda there is out there. All right, let's see here. We've got this from Adu United. Was enjoying this channel until this. Oh, man, okay. I have no issue with an Israel nation, but people really need to wake up to the fact that they want to take over and control the Middle East. Well, where in the world are you finding that? They want to do that. They're a sliver of land the size of New Jersey. They're the only democratically elected representative of democracy in the Middle East. If you can't respect your neighbors, you're the problem. How are they disrespecting their neighbors? You ever heard of the Abraham Accords? It's really their neighbors not respecting them for the most part. So he's never watching the channel again, Udo United. So, well, good riddance. I don't want people like you here that can't take a little different point of view. It shows you're easily triggered, and it's just crazy. I've lost a pretty good amount, and I don't care how many people leave because of my views, giving different points of view, or me expressing my point of view. I am 100% pro-Israel. Make no apologies for it. I am a Christian Zionist, full stop, 100%, right out in the open. Why? Because I am against terrorism, and the terrorism is happening 100% from Iran. They're the largest state sponsor of terror. I mean, there's no controversy behind it because it's 100% the truth. There's no controversy in saying that Israel has a right to exist, and they do, as a nation. That's what Zionism is. And so it's crazy. So, yeah, people would want to leave because of that. Good riddance. I don't want them here. And no, I'm not going to ban this channel. I'm going to leave this comment up because they're showing their own. And by the way, I have no problem with people expressing their points of view. If they dislike Benjamin Netanyahu or Israel, they can say it all they want. But if they're going to leave because of that, and that's fine. If they can't take a different point of view, that's okay. Then they can just leave. And I don't want those kind of viewers here. But I do want viewers that are respectful and will be not shy about expressing their point of view. It's okay. There's a lot of there's a lot of lefties that comment, and I'm fine with it, and they can express their opinion strongly. But when they say not watching my channel again or whatever, well, good riddance. Anyways, let's see. All right, we've got Rigid Digi Dude. So for the last 3 years, allegedly, China, Russia, India, etc., have been buying or hoarding gold and silver. Now they're dumping it, allegedly. Well, really, no. It's just Turkey. Turkey is the only one that we talked about here. More could follow, though. We'll see. It's just Turkey right now. All right, let's see here. And Sal, if gold plummets, I will be buying for sure. And many may even play the ratio game and swap for some silver or gold. I'm more of a coin collector than a stacker, as always. Be willing to trade for pre-33 gold. I hope gold drops to 25 to 3,000. I'll totally swap some silver eagles for some $20 Liberty heads. That's right. There you go. Yep, I like the pre-33 gold. I really do. All right, and let's see here. Timothy Smith. That's paper silver and only at Wall Street. Physical is the only way to bang bang. There's gone. God is in control. There you go. Yep, I like the physical. It really does make it simple and easier. I'd hate to be reporting for work at an electrical generation plant tomorrow morning in Iran. Yes, it's going to get pretty dicey there. It's going to get pretty crazy. Let's see here. And one way, let's see here, what he's got to say here, and we'll look at the markets after this comment. Said one way to stop the oil from being leveraged like this is to use more renewable and green energy, which is not oil-based and would be good for the atmosphere. The less dependent we are on the less we can happen. We're not getting off 100%. In my opinion, we could see ourselves off it for energy more or less with current tech. I have solar and we get paid each year for all the power company. Well, yeah, and that's that's an ideal world, but it's just we're not there yet with the alternative energy. I got solar panels too, but not everybody has it, and so it's just and nations still don't they're not nobody is at a point where they can be independent from oil. Oil is the lifeblood of all the energy. So very good. All right. But thank you for your thoughts. Let's see. I'll look at the markets again. So silver, a little bit of a comeback for silver. It's still down, but now down less than $1. It's down 87 cents, down 1.19%. Gold is down $35.60, $4,642.40. Platinum down 4, palladium down 15. So there they are. Very good. Silver's still taking the biggest hit tonight. All right, and the only one threatening people with nukes is Israel. With the Samson option multiple times, I vote nobody gets nukes, including us. Well, that's not going to happen, and Israel is not threatening people with nukes. Obviously, if they get attacked by nukes from Pakistan or some other nuclear nation, well, of course they're going to retaliate with nukes. So yeah. But they're not threatening anybody with nukes. The threats are coming, and the actual attacks have been coming from Iran and their proxies for 47 years. That's where the attacks are coming from. Israel is not your enemy. The only one threatening said that, yeah, again and again. It's and I appreciate people pointing their, expressing their points of view, but still, it's just incorrect. Brad Harvey says here, I call my LCS, and they will be open Monday, Tuesday coin show. I will be there Monday to get my bi-weekly silver. This war will go forever. We haven't won in this American's view. I think we can't really declare victory until we can say for the utmost certainty that they will not be able to reconstitute their nuclear weapons program for many, many years. I don't know how many years that's going to be. And we also cannot declare victory totally if the Strait of Hormuz is blocked by Iran. I don't think we really can. I don't think we can really declare victory there if that's the case, because too many people still rely on it. However, as Lior said in this interview, there's a realignment, and that realignment is happening in the Red Sea. Although it's going to take a lot of reorganization of the supply chain, and also there may come a time, if they continue to block it, where Saudi Arabia may build a canal in the Persian Gulf to bypass the strait. And that is a possibility. It may be worth looking into. Very good. And let's see here. Dark Lavalier Spieler says, always glad to get differing views and opinions. Judging from the comments, he must have had a lot of Iranian, Russian, Chinese, and North Korean agents tune into this video. Well, I'm telling you, the people that are anti-Israel and anti-America are pro-Iran and pro-terrorism. There's no in between. You're either for the United States and for Israel, or you are for the terrorist. That's a moral clarity that George W. Bush laid out in his speech, which was exactly right in 2002. You're either with us or you're with the enemy. There's no in between. No in between whatsoever. And if you are, saying that Iran is in the right, then you are delusional. You're absolutely delusional. It's so abundantly simple and clear. There's no other way to look about it. There's no other way to look at it than that. None. That's it. There's two choices. You're with the United States and Israel, or you're with the enemy. And the enemy is Iran regime. And by the way, the good people of Iran, the Persian people, they deserve freedom, and they deserve to be rid of this regime just as anybody else. So Donald Trump is doing the right thing. I don't like the way Donald Trump says things, like his post today. I did not agree with the post that he had today. I think he could have handled that better, but there's a lot of posts he says that he could have handled a lot better. I think a lot of it is to get a rise out of the enemy. I think he likes to tweak the media and tweak the enemy, and that's one of those cases there. But anyways, all right. But let's see here. Okay, Donna says, got it. We're in a war till we are no longer in a war. Silver will go up and silver will go down and maybe back up again. That's right. And likely the longer we're in this, we're going to see silver and gold probably be depressed until such a time. And really it's going to come fairly soon. It's going to come fairly soon after the ultimatum. And I don't know if it's, I think it might be Tuesday, and in Tuesday, they are going to, I think he said that's when he's going to take out the power plants and some of the infrastructure if they don't open up the straits. I believe that's the day. But anyways, all right. And very good. Let's see here. And by the way, I will say too, there's nothing wrong with criticizing Israel and criticizing the United States, the governments of those countries. That's, that goes without saying. There's nuance in everything, but being critical does not necessarily constitute being anti. But I'm seeing so much of the anti-Israel stuff that really, and that's really what it boils down to. A lot of these people that have been commenting on this are just plain out showing their true colors. But there's nothing wrong. I mean, because our leaders make mistakes, our governments make mistakes. Israel has made mistakes. The United States has made mistakes. We can admit those mistakes, and we can deal with that without being anti-American or anti-Israel. That's the difference. But the thing is that people like Static Collapse, he's just plain out anti-Israel and anti-U.S. It's crazy. Anyways, Mo says, for decades, Iran has been saying death to America. People in the U.S. are stupid, and a lot are supporting Iran. All I have to say is if the neighbor who lives across from your house repeatedly states that he is going to kill you, and then you need to take action. You either move or go to court. If you do nothing, then you're sitting duck. Exactly right. That's pretty simple. That's for sure. Yep, yep. And they have been chanting that. That's exactly right. Bob Yersa, solid commentary and analysis. I don't expect a lot of Europe, though. Western Europe seems on track to fall to Islamist communism. That's exactly right. Look at Britain right now. Britain is a cesspool of it. Cybercurrent Twitcher knows it's crazy what Keir Starmer's doing there. It's insane. Western Europe seems on track to fall to Islamic communism and go to war with Central Europe, who is hemmed on its east by the regime in Ukraine. Thank you. All right. So, and the HDP, oh goodness, not Leor. Yes, Leor. Let's see here. All right. And let's see here. We've got this. Iran going to liberate the USA from Israel. All right. And that just goes to show you there's another example of pro-Iranian, pro-terrorism. It's crazy. All right. And so now we're looking, so silver is now down almost $1 again. It's down $1. It's 1.34% down 98 cents right now. Gold is down $41.40. Platinum down 14, and palladium down 9. We are at the top of the hour right now. And let's see here. You know, I've gotten like 4 text messages from scammers today on Easter Sunday, and I've told them to give me their number, and they didn't respond. These one just called me. I'm gonna try to call them right now. I see. Nope, it won't go through. I'm gonna try to do it. Wow, they're trying to take away crossbows as well as our firearms. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy what's going on there in the UK. All right, so there's where the market's set right now. Let's get over to this. John Sherman, y'all are here because you pay attention to PM prices. Trust your gut on why the price movement is happening extremely. Yes, you gotta see what's going on with the market and what's happening. It's good to pay attention to what's going on there. Snow Bass is another triggered here. Let's see what he's got to say. And again, I don't mind people expressing their points of views, but I've got moral clarity on this one. This is sad to see, Sal. I've watched you for a long time and always enjoy your content. I'm extremely conservative and can agree to disagree on most subjects. However, the genocide of innocents is not something I will ever condone. Well, me either, show me base. I won't condone genocide either. How's that? But then he goes on to say Israel is in the wrong for Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran. Christ is king. Well, the thing is you're implying that Israel is the one doing the genocide. And if you think that, then you need to get a freaking clue. You don't need to look up what the word genocide means and to understand what's going on there. If anybody wants a genocide, it's in the charter for Hamas. It's in their stated goal for genocide. And did you pay attention to what happened on October the 7th of who they targeted? And look at who Israel targeted during that war. And it's absolutely insanity. Anyways, he goes on to say, he says, Christ is king. How can show me base? How can you say Christ is king and yet say that Israel is committing genocide and completely ignore all the terrorist attacks that have been funded by Iran since 1979, 1980, 83? How can you do that? You know, I don't make that make sense for me. Hope you can come and see through the deceptions from Israel, AIPAC, and our corrupt government. Well, I hope maybe you can come and maybe not make boogeymen out of AIPAC, Israel, and whatever. I mean, AIPAC, I don't even know. It's crazy. People even put that as a boogeyman and what have you. But do you know how much money the Emirates and Qatar have spent influencing and the Iranian proxies have been used to fund all these organizations, and how much money comes from George Soros? George Soros is completely in bed with a lot of these folks, and you're falling for it. If you're really conservative, you should know this. You should know this and understand how the propaganda is being flown out through there, being pushed out. But anyways, he says, Not to mention this Mossad clown you have on the show. Well, it's funny. Now, Lior has been tied in as I can't tell you. There's probably been about 12 to 14 people say, I've got a Mossad agent. I'll tell you what, Lior's pretty smart. He probably could be a Mossad agent, but he laughed when he saw that. It's crazy. Please do better, Sal. Please. He's begging me to do better. Well, show me base. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to side with Israel on this one, okay? And so I'm going to do better, and actually all of these critical comments have made me fired up, and I'm going to do more. I'm going to post more. I'm going to express my views more. I don't care if I lose half my subscribers. This is a moral issue to the tune where, yes, and again, I understand nuance. I'm willing to talk about nuance where mistakes are made. You know, we probably did hit that school. It's under investigation, but we didn't target that school. And there's a very big difference there. And who knows, that could have been a weapons depot that Iran put underneath that school. That is quite a possibility. That's how they operate. So anyways, so it's crazy. But anyways, see, people like this, you know, they just are so convinced that you can't change their mind and you can't talk nuance. And they automatically think that Israel is genocidal maniacs. It's insane. It's absolutely insane because they follow a lot of the slop that's out there that they buy it hook, line, and sinker. And I've never been convinced of it. And you know, and I love Bill Button, who's also sign up, and all he's got is just I'm brainwashed, and that's it. But Bill Button is one of those that also believes that Israel does genocide. Bill Button sadly sides with the terrorists too, and I hate to say that because I like Bill Button. Sign up, I love him, but you're siding with the terrorist, and it sucks. But that's the God's honest truth. All right, Huraka Vet says, when are they going to mint a coin commemorating the loss of freedom? Not a dramatic event, true, but the U.S. is no longer, if ever was, a leading nation for personal and press freedom. Well, we do need to get back to that. We have a lot of room for improvement there for sure. Let's take a look at the markets now. Gold down over $1 again. And Ukbeg Nigyan, thank you so much. Your regulars always stand behind you. Well, thank you, Ukbeg Nigyan. I really appreciate that, my friend. And again, I'm not saying that America can't be at fault from times, doesn't make mistakes, but and Israel as well. Mistakes happen, but it's about motives. And Israel and the United States are not out there wanting to terrorize or take over the whole world. They're not there wanting to do that. Whereas that's, you know, Iran, the regime of Iran is. But thank you. I appreciate that. You're very kind. I appreciate it. And again, I appreciate folks expressing their points of view. But if you have, you know, and again, I don't want to belabor the point, but let's move on here. All right. Okay, so there's some good legitimate questions too that I want to address, and I want people to be able to speak their mind freely. But I'm going to speak mine too if they speak theirs. But Jacob Berdu says Iran has been 6 months away from a nuclear development since 1980. I'm not sure what really has changed. Israel has been trying to get us to war with Iran since around the same time. It's just that every other president has chosen not to get involved. My question is, what is the actual intelligence that led to us to believe that they're closer to nuclear development now than they were 10 years ago or 50 years ago? They very well could have been close to nuclear development and actually going to secede this time. They could have always had plans to use it on us, but what do we actually know and what is being assumed? What is real information? What is misinformation? Those are the questions. And those are good questions, very, very good questions. Well, there has always been a threat, and I don't know if it goes back to 1980 per se. I don't think after 1979 that they were that quick to be able to get a nuclear weapon. I think probably since the maybe late 80s, early 90s, they're starting to get some of the technology and starting to get the uranium together. It's been a slow roll, but in between that time, Israel has taken out some of their nuclear scientists and hacked. They've also hacked the labs. And so there was one real big computer hack that they did back in 2011 and 2012 that set them back pretty good pace. And So that's where, so they've slowed them down, utilizing those kind of tactics, either murdering some of the scientists, well, not murdering, but killing some of the scientists, and or hacking or whatever. They've done a lot of different things, but make no mistake, it's pretty much non-controversial. It's pretty much fact, and it's been a well-known fact that Iran has been pursuing this. They've admitted it. Now, we are taking the words from our emissary there, based off of the negotiations, which I'm sure they have recordings of, where we have found supportive information about them rebuilding and taking out some of the material from their sites, where they cover the areas up based off of satellites that show that they have tried to rebuild some of those spots that we bombed out. So that is what we've been seeing intelligence-wise since June of last year. We've been monitoring it very close. That's number one. And number two, they've admitted it. It's pretty much not only from the IAEA, but other agencies and intelligence show that they have been pursuing it. Now, I don't know how far they were this time, but if they could get that 60% up to 90%, it's going to be easier from 60% to get to 90% than it would have been from 30% up to 60%. So, and all they got to do is get something together for a dirty bomb, and a dirty bomb is something that could be done without ballistics, without intercontinental ballistic missiles, and the worry, as Marco Rubio says, that they could, not Marco Rubio, but J.D. Vance had alluded to crudely, but still it is possible, where somebody brings material in on a vest or some other suitcase bomb or something. And now obviously they'd have to get by some of the detectors, but there's probably clever ways they could do it using lead and some other material to be able to hide the radioactive signature, and then be able to open it up in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. And that is a real threat. That's a bigger threat, I think, than the other. You set yourself up a dirty bomb, and that, I think, is really where the big threat is. I really do. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, Racer says, you and I may have differing views on a few things, but I want most of the same things and respect that you're willing to engage in critical conversation. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I try my best. I really do. And I really much appreciate that. All right, but this is a good question. So he's asking it from a point of being doubtful, and I can understand that. This is a good critical question. It really is. So thank you for that. All right, let's get to the markets again. Silver is attempting a little bit of a recovery here, but it is still down. $72.22, down 93 cents right now. Gold down a little bit more. It's almost down as much as silver right now. It's down $47.30, over 1% now, I think, for the first time tonight, to $4,603.70. Although I'm showing a low of 46.14, but I don't know if that was, I don't know when that was, or if that's left over from Friday or Thursday or not. So there it is. Okay, platinum down 14, palladium down 11. What's open right now? Let's see here. That opens in 40 minutes. Okay, Tokyo opens in 40 minutes. So we got a little bit of time here before that opens up. Let's see here. We got Kalinar. To make it really historically accurate, the "In God We Trust, a bad mistake," and propaganda from the Cold War needs to be removed. Well, the reason why that's still on there is it's because of the law that all circulating coins and all coins must have that phrase on it. So that's why that's there. Kurt Noor, of course, it's falling during the war. The manipulators need to get cheap silver to their industrial friends. Well, the thing is yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could see what happens. I mean, you can believe that. I don't know. But anyways. All right. We've got Robert Ulmer says, Sal, could you be you could be a preacher? I have to say, someone who was raised in the church. That was rather inspiring. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely far from that. got a lot of room for, I need a lot of room for improvement. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's see here. And we've got this from Daniel Del Rosso from this morning's video. Happy Easter to all. At that time, 30 silver coins was a fixed price for a slave. Wow, I did not know that. Wow, that does make a lot more meaningful. You know, he became a slave to himself. Very good. All right, let's see here. And by the way, you guys have partook in the poll, and the poll question here. Appreciate you guys doing that, and press the thumbs up button as you do it. And let's see here. And we've got 54% of you are saying no. Let me see here. Let me see what that poll says. Will silver stay above 70 for the entire week? 54% of you say no, it will not. 46% you say yes. So it's a little mix there. So there you go. All right. Rocky Superstar. Yes, check out Rocky Superstar's channel. He goes live after I do. Thank you, my friend. We got Maritime Stacker, very political, but this is information that has a direct influence on silver and gold. That's right, exactly. And honestly, I would not discuss it if it wasn't related. But there is a relation with it. And because politics is pretty much everywhere, and it does have an impact on precious metals. It sure does. So we're not going to be shy about talking about it on this channel. Whatever is going to move the markets one way or the other. All right. Let's see here. Slurp a little bit more coffee. And America First is here. Good to see you. Credit Crunch. Yep, that's another thing too. That's where we're watching as well. You're right. Good to see you. Welcome. Good to see all of you guys. I appreciate you being with me here tonight. We got John Bethia says this. There are many times in our lives when we must stand against the devil or against evil. Ones when they try to take our beliefs in God, our families, and our freedoms. During these times, we must don ourselves in the armor of God. That's right, John Bethia. Exactly right. And let's see here. All right. Okay. We've got this from Player 1X says the following. What happened to the Ark of the Covenant and where is it now? That's the internal mystery we'd like to know. And the cross to the Tower of Babel, what happened to the commandment tablets, what happened to the Garden of Eden, all those things we really don't know. People have been speculating on that for years. I think in some ways, God probably saw fit that they weren't recoverable so that we don't idolize those things. Because we can make those very things the actual idols. It is kind of like the Shroud of Turin to some degree. But anyways, all right. Joe Evil says here, silver must still drop to $40 per troy ounce in order to normalize at $30 per troy ounce. Keep in mind that BRICS is continuing to accumulate massive gold supplies in order to establish the yuan as world reserve currency against the U.S. Keep in mind that gold should not be considered an investment, but as a stabilizing economic influence. I agree with that, but although I don't think that $40 silver is where it'll drop. And we may see it go down that low, but I don't think it'll stay there long. But anyways, all right. But thank you for your thoughts on that, Joe. And welcome, Wicked Sticky Flowers is here. Zewelbitster says, I can't remember the last time I saw coin currency being used, let alone paying attention to the vintage of the coin itself. Well, I don't know. Coin currency, I use coins for currency every day. Every single day. All right. That's right. If you touch the ark, you would die. That's right. At that time. And it's happened. It's in the scripture. All right. And YZ8MG says, Happy Easter. I have a 2012 half-ounce round called the Jesus Shekel. It has Jesus on the cross, and the idea that the round is that Judas betrayed Christ for just 33 ounces of silver. Well, it's 30 ounces of silver, but yeah, but you're right. All right, let's see here. All right, and let's see here. I've not seen any in circulation, Rocky Superstar. I had to buy mine from eBay. Julian Mountsier says, Happy Resurrection Day. May you and your family be blessed for publicly proclaiming the name of Jesus. May you prosper spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Julian. It's the least I can do. And really, more importantly than professing it is living it out. And I need to do a better job of that. So I really don't feel like I should be getting any kudos for this. But thank you. I appreciate it very much. Happy Resurrection Day. Thank you, Colleen Nelson. Very kind of you. And let's see here. Thank you. I think that's probably good news. And let's see here. Max Blaze says, good history lesson for the ones that have never learned it or were taught wrong. Yes, thank you. Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at the markets again. Again, nothing showing up. We're seeing pre-market trading here. Silver still down over $1 right now. And we can see here that trading has kind of fallen off a little bit. And let's see here. But there it is. It's kind of stabilizing, trading a little bit light. Have a good night, Cyber Current Twitcher. Appreciate you so much. All right, have a good night. Let's see here. But we're seeing it kind of teeter down here at this point in time, down $1.07. So we'll watch this thing very closely now. And gold continues to climb down. It's down now $57.20 tonight, 46.20. So there you go. It's still early for me to declare victory in my prediction, but it's possible. All right. Let's see. We may not read all of this, but we'll try to get through some of it. From Extreme Pacifist says there's the only fundamental that I will focus on is the U.S. dollar must collapse after all nations use other currencies and the world goes digital currency. The USA Babylon Empire will create more digits on their computer, and the private Federal Reserve will be the only buyers of U.S. treasuries. And the USA keeps bombing and invading many other countries. So another anti-American sentiment here. The paper silver short scam is allowed to continue so that all industrials will secure their needed silver supply at the lowest price possible. Silver is more scarce now than it was yesterday, and all people of the world should buy some today and keep it away from those psychopaths in power who start wars and destroy whole nations and their way of life. Well, again, you know, the United States has made mistakes. We made mistakes in Iraq. We made mistakes in Vietnam. We made mistakes in all wars. But you know, and some wars have more of a moral clarity than others. But notwithstanding, I don't think we're as evil as you lay it out to be, and we're not. We're a force for good, and our military is a force for good overall. There are some exceptions, obviously, and everything, but anyways, I stand by that strongly. The only fundamental in stacking physical silver and gold is U.S. dollar is collapsing without any doubt. It's not collapsing. Dollar is not collapsing. It is slowly losing value, but it is not collapsing. It's a matter of time based on how many wars U.S. Babylon Empire, of course, again, there you go, anti-Americanism. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to read any more of that. It's basically just repeating the same thing there. Not really any effect on the subject of the video, but hey, he's free to speak his mind. Allegheny. Fun fact, the sigil of the eagle and the carpet of the Oval Office is removable. In times of peace, the eagle's head is turned towards the olive branch. When America's at war, it is replaced with one that is the eagle turned towards the arrows. Interesting. I think I've heard that somewhere else before, but anyways, but thank you. Gene, great words tonight. See you tonight at the Market Watch. Well, thank you. Hope you're here, Gene. Anybody seen Gene? Let's see here. Let's see here. And we've got this from Kerry Tarrant. I've been wondering how that coin was doing. Last time I saw it looked like it had a matte finish. I think you should have kept it in salt water over the years. Interesting how a dark and happy Easter Sunday. Yeah, I've filled it up with water once in between, but I don't think it would have had much difference at this point. People are saying, well, because of the iodine and the salt, it had a material. Who knows? All I know is that it will probably be just a desk piece. Some people suggest that I take it and sell it on eBay, but I don't know. I don't know how I would do that, but I don't know. The Salty Eagle, I don't know. Michael K. Giving the term salt life a whole new meaning. There you go. That's right, Michael K. True that. You're exactly right there. Mark Hazley, different salts have different minerals. Perhaps your batch had just enough of something to eat those two small gouge holes in the eagle. Thanks for the vid sale. Yes, it could have been. Thank you. Very well could have been the case. Thank you, my friend. Cache 73. No need to feel salty over this. Just keep stacking. That's exactly right. That's what we do. Silver Eagle soaking in the salt is a shipwreck of a coin. That's right. Thank you to my friend Silver Heist. And here we go. All right, we're seeing the metals, silver, gold, now down at 1.36%, down $63.50 at 46.14 and 50. Silver down $1.28 right now to $71.87. Platinum is down 18. Palladium down 24. So they're taking a hit. So there's where it is. All right. Thank you. Yes, happy Resurrection Day to you all here. Glad you're with us tonight. You continue to watch these markets move. Let's get moving here. It's been a fun experiment. Yes, it has. It's been fun to watch it and go out through these years, but thank you. Wait a minute. So I shouldn't pack my silver like salted fish. That's right. Not advisable. Not advisable indeed. All right, thank you. Wicked Sticky Flowers. That's how you should put up that salted ASC for auction. There we go. Or not. Yes. That's right. Yes. I don't know. Quit sending to do that, but all right. And let's see here. And Astro or Aaron Scott says, sell that bad boy as uncirculated for massive profits. I'm kidding. Great video. Thank you. Appreciate that. I like it, Sal. Have a great day. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. And we've got this from Silver Heist. A slab coin company would grade that salty Silver Eagle as yucky details. That's right. The technical term, yucky. That's right. And Fred Cute Born Again says, how much does that pocket eagle weigh now? 9/10 of an ounce. I've rubbed off a full 1/10 of an ounce on it. It's salt cured. That's right. Exactly. It is salt cured. I'm going to smell it now. I do. It is. It does smell a little salty too. Here, you smell it. Can you smell that? Smell-o-vision, everybody. Hashtag smell-o-vision as we look at the markets again. There they are. Gold and silver down. All of this in pre-Asian market trading with nothing opened up yet. I'm not really sure how that works, but it is the case. Nothing's opened up yet here. Some places are closed for Easter Monday. Others will be opening up very soon. So this is why they call it the pre-Asian market trade. For whatever reason that is. Let's slurp a little bit more of our coffee, which is lukewarm. Before we get back here, we've got Joe Sway. Happy Easter and preach to my Christian and Jewish brethren. Thank you, my friend Joel. Very kind of you indeed. And Hot Rod says, you should weigh it with and the others to see if there's any difference. Actually, I've done that before in the previous, and I should have mentioned that. It had not changed. It was a marginal difference. Not enough, and especially the kind of scale I have, it's not going to be nearly accurate. It's still going to weigh 1 ounce. So I wouldn't have done that. There we go. West Texas Stackers here. Good to see you guys. Glad you're here with me. Bozo Laughing says, the striations are interesting. I would have guessed something more like the toning or tarnish would have happened. That's more like a reverse electroplating on a small scale. Yeah, it is crazy. I can't really explain the striations, but it is wild. Good to see Eli is here. Dilly Dog T the Silver Stacker is here. Welcome, T. Check out T the Silver Stacker's channel. He's been posting some really good videos as of late. And great channel, great guy, T is. Shan says, the moral of the story is don't store your silver in salt. That's right. Do not do it. Yep. Or gold or any other precious metal. Probably not good to do. All right. All right. Let's see here. It's fun to admire our coins. And good stuff. Let's see here. All right. We've got Russell Davison. So you were 23 when this experiment started. It's good to see young people involved in this hobby. I don't think he got the joke. That's funny. A lot of people didn't get the joke in there about the age. We'll see another one that says that. Martin is a potter. All right. I wonder if his first name is Harry. I was watching a documentary on British history, and the guy's name was Harry Potter. It's crazy. Anyways, as a potter, I've worked with sodium and chloride. Chloride will bond with silver. I have messed with iron and hydrochloric acid, and I've learned chlorine is very active with many other metals. Not as bad as I had imagined. Good experiment, Sal. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it. Very good. All right. All right. Oh, man. Visiting Sherry tomorrow. Do I have any questions for her? Yes, I do, but it probably is something that I don't know if you'd be brave enough to actually ask that question. But if you are brave enough to ask, I'm going to ask it in this way. I'm going to be as classy as possible, okay? Here we go. Let's see if T is brave enough to ask this question, because it has nothing to do with silver. But I have a cup of coffee here, okay? And I'm going to drink out of this coffee. I'm slurping here. And the cup is, this cup, it's a medium-sized cup, okay? Now, if I were to have two of these cups in hand, and, maybe I assign a letter to the size, like let's say that, for instance, based off of my visual observation skills, I would probably say, a large cup might be a D, for instance. And so, and a small cup may be a size A. So with this coffee cup, and I'm slurping this coffee up right now, if I had two, I could slurp both of them at the same time. But I want to know what kind of coffee cup size that the Sherry has to use that as but maybe apply it to a different situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's probably my question. But if you don't want to ask that question, then you could probably ask when do you think she will start taking in some constitutional silver again in silverware? If she's not taking it now, does she think she's going to be able to take some constitutional silver in again? And somebody else may have already asked that question too. So anyway, so there you go. All right. Let's see here. And we've got Captron says, it's still silver. The salt didn't change that. That's right. It is still silver. But now it's coal silver. Man, I'd say when it is dull looking. Dull looking. There you go. That's right. So there it is. All right. And let's see here. Faiz Mirza, now try with platinum and palladium coins and weigh the coins afterwards. Yeah. That's another 5-6 year experiment with the platinum and palladium. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see here. Where are we at? We've got this from My Name is Ghost. Bro, I was born in 98 too. Can't lie though, I thought you were older. Well, he didn't get the joke. So if you saw this video, I mentioned that I bought the coin brand new in 1990, and that's amazing because I was born in 1998. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. All right. Where are we at? All right. Oh, sorry, T. I didn't mean. Yeah, I guess I was a little. I figured she was pretty easy going. Would be okay, but maybe not. Maybe that was. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's okay. All right. Frank Garcia says that was much more salt than in the sea. Then how much salt would attack almost everything? All right, except for it's a different kind of salt. Of course, I'm not close enough to the beach where I could take salt water. And by the way, salt water at the beach that I would go to is very different than the salt water where the experiment or where the silver had eroded away. So it just depends on what part of the ocean it is and how deep it is too. Accumulation of all. There's a lot of different variables that I didn't take into account here. All right, James Richard says Trump did away with the penny because it costs more to make than it's worth. I would bet nickels are next. What about What about how much the government makes on dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins? If only the government would be as concerned about foreign appropriations as they are the penny. Um, yeah, they're. I think that there are the figures that are out there. I don't know how current they are, but the dime is still worth making barely. The nickel is like 6.8 cents, I think now, but the dime is a smaller coin, so it's worth making. The quarter obviously is still worth making. So yeah, there we go. All right, we've got not this, not now. I've wanted to try to capturing and locking in the fumes of a lit match or two in a container with a silver coin to see if it will create the rainbow toning. Yeah, you've done a very, very crude toning experiment on silver quite a while ago. But yeah. Grumpy Grandpa, good to see you. Yeah, let's see here. All right. Yeah, so T, if you're still here, yeah, maybe ask that question about if she's taking in any constitutional silver. I'm very curious to see if shops are. I know my local coin shop is not taking any constitutional silver now, or silverware now. They're so behind. The refineries are literally still weeks, if not months or so away from being able to take it in again. Uh, Drone Enza, 1966. I appreciate this very much, Sal. You've gained a subscriber. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Very kind of you. Lucilla Stacker, that's probably what they would look like years after you've had a tragic boating accident. That's right. Yep. Exactly. A boating accident, you're gonna get this grayed out, dull silver. I mean, it really is. When you look at it in certain parts of the light, you can really see the difference. You can see the difference in this video too. It's crazy. All right. And gnome grown gardening. I just put some salt in my silver nitrate electrolyte solutions to cement the silver out. Okay, interesting. Nice. And people can really do a good controlled experiment. He also says the coin cleaner strips off whatever goes in it, brother. A 10-second dip doesn't do much, but actually clean it. Dealers and jewelers want to hold it in for some time. Customers by customers do the math. It's not magic, it's science. All right. Yes. Yeah, well, I've been, gnome gardening. That dip, I've done it pretty quickly, and it's taken the toning off pretty quick. But anyways, oh, thank you, Grumpy Grandpa, $4.99. Appreciate that super chat. They've been rare tonight, so I really appreciate that so much. And let's look at the markets again. Silver down again over 1.75% right now to $71.85. Gold down $66.20. And there it is. Platinum is down 20, palladium down 22. There's where the markets are right now. And so, yeah, crazy. U.S. Mint showing back order of the Revolutionary War quarters. They sold out in 22 minutes. I missed that opportunity. I wasn't near a computer at that time. It really sucks. I wish it would make enough so that we could get them. Just crazy. They had to have known they were going to be popular, It's crazy. And let's see here. All right. Now, silver's down almost 2% again. $71.73. Down $1.42. Gold down 1.46%. Down $68.50 right now. Platinum down 25. Palladium down 23. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Let's get over here to Ludo. Nice history lesson and happy Resurrection Day. For everyone out here where we live in Western Europe, the tradition has completely vanished compared to when I was a kid in the late 70s and 80s. Yeah, that's sad to see. Europe is falling, man. Our kids don't even know the story behind it. For them, it's about searching chocolate eggs in the yard and have an extra holiday tomorrow. Yes, it's a shame. It's a shame indeed. All right, have a good night. Thank you, Michael K. I appreciate you, brother. You're very kind. A-Dub, very kind of you. A-Dub, he sent 5 Salivate Metal memberships across the bow. Thank you, A-Dub. I appreciate that so much. Very kind of you indeed. Thank you. Thank you, Black Cat. I appreciate you being here too, sir. All right. Very nice of you indeed. All right. And let's see here. We've got Salty Mailman. How much weigh to each way? Pocket salt and New Eagle on your scale. Yes, I've done that in a previous video. I should have mentioned that on this one as well, but I didn't weigh them. But it's about the same. It really is. Rocco 2535. Is there a product that removes the toning without damaging the coin, or is the toning good? Yeah, toning is okay. I mean, honestly, the Easy S will do it, but it does do some damage to the coin. If it has numismatic value, the general rule is to not clean your coins unless by a professional, which can use a very special electrolysis or sonic cleaners. That would be the only way that I would do it. Yeah. There you go. That's right. That's right. And AW is right. Any new channel members can get access to those emojis, which are fun. Yes, indeed. And we've got this Gardner Earth God. Olive oil is what people store coins in for a long time. People love coins. I love coins. Yes, olive oil. True that. And we've got Jim Winklebauer. And now I know something that I didn't have a clue about when I woke up this morning. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. This is the invisible poison in your silver bullion video that I did this morning, or this afternoon, rather. All right, let's see here. And Cybercurrent Twitcher, interesting stuff, Sal. Not something I would have even thought about. Makes you wonder just how toxic chemicals are in the silver fakes out there. That's right. That's true. Good point, CCT. All right. There we go. And let's see here. Where are we at with this next couple of comments here? And Matt Weenie says, always getting educated from Sal. Had no idea about poisons and silver. Good info. Great bars. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, it's what they go through to get it ready to go. All right. And BA says, it really isn't that bad. I have a shipwreck ingot that remained at the bottom of the Atlantic for over 6 decades and lost a few ounces of silver as a result. From the top of my head, I think it was stamped 1058, but weighed 1055 and recovered. Interesting. Wow. Thank you, BA. AGAU Fossil says, so no showering with your silver if you use Head & Shoulders clinical strength. That's right. That's exactly right. And where are we at? Let's see here. Good to see Silver Shelby is here. Appreciate you being here. Madhu Fantak. I wish I had an ounce for every time. Sal says, very. All right. I must say that a lot. Robert Harrison. I like poured silver bars because of these old-time Western gunslingers look. Yeah, they are cool looking. And we've got the CC. It definitely looks like the surface has been eroded by the salt contact, and I doubt dipping it would return any of the original shine. Yep, that's right. As suspected, no change on dipping. Good to see it coming out in a final show and tell. Thank you. Yep, I don't see it changing very much from where it is now, so I wanted to wrap that series up. Salt the Eagle, and there it is. All right. Bleach absolutely wrecks it, yeah. And as we explore, that's right, being Shushi, that's what we like to do here. We like to explore. Love my big bars even more now. Yeah, they're really cool, Big J. Yep, it gives you a new appreciation for the bigger silver bars. Let's take a look at the markets again. We can see here we've got activity with silver down 1.8% right now. It is down $71.84 at this moment in time. And we have got gold down $63.40, a 1.36% drop in gold price. So there we are. And let's get down through here. See, we've got a few more comments. I wish I bought this when it came out. All right. Thought this when it came out. Okay, bought this when it came out. Yeah, I know. Silver price explosion. Why $50 is inevitable, and it ended up happening. Douglas Keeler says, still worth more than you paid for it back, though. I probably would have used a generic silver round. No, I hear you. I probably should have. But you know what? Still is silver. And although, I may not get, it'd probably be sold back as a cold silver piece, but that's all right. It's okay. Habanero pepper next. Huh, habanero. Interesting. Will that be corrosive to silver? Good idea. Wow, I'm impressed by your grasp of metallurgy. Thank you. Well, actually, I learned it. I've learned it. I don't, it's really something that's, you find it, it's interesting what you can find out there. My op says very educational. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. And Memory that Wong says it's not unlike the 10% copper in a 1 ounce gold Krugerrand, still a 1 full ounce gold, but 10% copper for durability. Yes, that's right. The durability is what that's in there for. Silver as well put in there for it. Mazda Fiero says, interesting. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed that. Hopefully you did. Willa says, thanks for the information, Sal. Well, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Willa. A Bicentennial Baby on the Salty Eagle experiment video that I did today says the following. Great science experiment. I asked AI before you pulled it out what would it look like, and it was spot on. But it was not as bad as I thought it would be. The only thing I have used in size silver is EasyEst, although it really stinks when it's cleaning the silver. A friend of mine used EasyEst on his little Akio Chukotchki. He found that the Habitat for Humanity restore for 50 cents and cleaned it up great. I told him it was sterling silver, so I took it to LCS and they put it in the XRF. Now he has 3 ounces of sterling silver for 50 cents. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing indeed. All right. Tuscany Coin Show. Nice. In Vegas. Good job, Michael Elana. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got some good stuff there. Very, very cool. That's right. T the Silver Stacker, he has done silver pouring as well, and he used liver of sulfur to tone his silver pour. Nice. I use kidney of hydrogen for mine. Kidney of hydrogen, and he uses liver of sulfur. Yes, indeed. And we've got to have to leave it in coin cleaner for 5 years. There you go. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine what that would do? Newman Ocean says here, Newman Orion, rather, looks like those antique silver coins you pay big money for. Yeah. Salty toned. I mean, boy, that looks really dull in the light. It's crazy. Dale Lovett, I've enjoyed this experiment over the years. Up the irons. Cool. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate you watching. And Lulu Lucky with a little celebration icon there. And Veteran 6352, we thank him for his service. And he says, thanks for your resurrection message today. It was refreshing to hear this on a financial channel. God bless you. Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yep. I mean, usually it's related anyway to precious metals. I'll talk about it. It's very rarely that I go off the subject of precious metals. There's a tie-in, even if there's other subjects are involved. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. And let's see. We've got OU Surf. Sal, this vid made me smarter than the usual vid. My few good brain cells are having a party. Well, awesome, my friend. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you again, sir. Thanks, Moose, BME. Avas Liberté, thanks for this interesting video. I now know that not only uranium waste, but also silver could be stored well in salt tunnels. That's right, exactly. Henry Bowman held up better than I guessed. I'm curious how well Tarnax and the soft toothbrush would clean it up. Yeah, I mean, it would obviously a toothbrush and Tarnax are both abrasives. I probably would not do that. Oh man, thank you, my Willie. I don't see that's high praise. I don't think I'm necessarily the Aussie of the community, but thank you. There's a lot of other channels that are much more popular than me, but thank you. All right. Life is busy when you're retired. Yeah, well, Dean R., I hope you're enjoying retired life, and I just appreciate your time that you're here. We appreciate you, Dean. You're awesome. And Bill4572, you're great. Appreciate you guys. And Martinko says, I'm going to do this with sulfur powder I got on eBay. All right. Sulfur powder. Excellent. Let's go, says Roadkill. So we do here. We did it. We've gone there. And let's see here. We got Gambit Arcana. Says also to point out, while holding both, the eagle's head is pointed towards the olive branches, showing that we are in an era of peace. All right, yes. Yeah, the head is pointing the other direction, but there's no olive branches there. That's the controversy, but anyways. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, let's see here. Let's move up this way. Avas Liberté, very interesting report. He says here, there's a wealth of knowledge in the steel industry. Quality comes with a price. Thanks for the insight. Well, thank you, Avas Liberté. Metallurgy is a very interesting science. A lot that goes into it, for sure. Indeed, there is. And snakebite is here, still stacking at a steady pace. That's a good way to do it. Definitely a good way to do it. Stack at a steady pace. All right, P. Ryan Limerick says off topic. Says here, did you know that selenium is used in photovoltaic cells primarily as a high efficiency, cost effective photo absorber layer in thin film solar technologies? I did not know that, particularly for indoor light sources. I recently achieved record efficiencies in selenium based cells over 18% under indoor lighting by using specialized processes. But don't worry about replacing silver for outdoor PV cells. Thank you for that information, P. Ryan Limerick. Fascinating. And we've got, let's see here, very interesting topic. Thank you, Incognito. And Mr. Gibble says, I have 5 of these Era coins, and they are amazing. Whoa, you've got them. That's wild. You're the first person that I know that said that. That's interesting. Wise words to reflect on. Thank you, John Daniels. I appreciate that very, very much. We got Namarie 3025 says this. Sad to hear that you decided to end the experiment. I'm pretty sure I've watched each installment. Well, thank you. Yeah, and the reason why I'm ending it is because I've known that it's not going to get much more. It's not going to look much more different as the years gone by. I thought about ending it last time. I was like, I'm going to give it one more year, pour more water in it. The water dried out, and the silver literally caked on it. I was like, that's it. All right. All right, and we have got this from Hermosa Beach Guy on the Salty Eagle experiment. If you throw a Salty Eagle over your left shoulder and hit a leprechaun in the head, you get to steal his pot of gold. I like that idea. I'm going to I got my Silver Eagle. I might carry another one, carry this with me. And next time I run across a leprechaun, I'm going to do just that. I need to stack more gold. I'm going to use silver to do that. That's the ultimate alchemy. Yes, for sure. All right. Oh, man. Akbeg Nigyan says that they are hiking the prices for the PS5. Whoa. How much did they go up, Akbeg Nigyan? And I don't have one of those gaming consoles, but yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Probably because of memory prices and processor prices going up is my guess. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at the markets again and see what's happening. As you can see, the metals are still down, but they're stabilizing in this area, it seems like. Gold down $62.30 to $4,615.70. Silver down $1.35. That's a 1.85% decrease to $71.80 tonight. Platinum down 18. Palladium down 18. So there it is. Pronounce win. Win. Okay, win. Let's see here. Where are we at? Let's see what we've got happening here. So there's where that is. Let's get down here. Some of these comments. See what folks are saying. Gold is down 20% from its high in January, while silver is down 40%. I'll stick with gold. Gold tends to absorb a lot more than gold does, and tend to be more stabilized. Oh, win. Nigyen equals win. Okay. I did not know that. Okay, Nigyen is win. Okay, I did not know that. I'm sorry about that. Ukbay win. Ukbay win. That's interesting. I say New Yen. I'll try to remember that New Yen. Sorry about that. I've been mispronouncing. He says it's as much as 150 for the Pro model. Wow, that's a big jump. So, new yen. Okay, Ukbay new yen. I'm gonna try to remember that. Ukbay new yen. Thank you, appreciate that. Ukbay new yen. I'm gonna try to remember that. Just keep reminding me. But thank you guys. I've often mispronounced some of the names. And thank you, Silver Crone. I appreciate you being here. David Noelhoff says this. I will keep buying a little gold and silver each month. No selling. Keep stacking, friends, because Trump and the U.S. government aren't trustworthy. Well, we should stack anyway. Governments aren't always trustworthy. Obviously, you don't like Trump. That's okay, but it is what it is. But keep stacking no matter what. All right, let's see here. Like a new Japanese dollar. There you go. New yen. Like new yen. That's a good way to look at it. Yep, got to be down with the Filipino community. That's right. Yes, thank you. Good folks. Yeah, gaming computer for the price of a 2 terabyte PS5. All right, there you go, gaming computer. But memory's gone up, and GPUs have gone up in price too, have they not? Pretty sure. All right, Molly Russell's Ward says, I thought my screen was scratched until Sal took the cat hair away. Yeah, yep, I noticed that. I was like, oh, better take that away. And I got a cat. Let's see here. We got AGAU Fossil. These coins are gorgeous. I'm envious. Maybe someday I can get close to such a collection of real wealth. Well, every little bit helps. Just save up. I think even now, it'd be more of a challenge, but I think people can still save up to get a full ounce of gold. But obviously, fractional is much more appealing now than ever before, given the price of everything. But anyways, 5 p.m. here. Here we go. Well, America, Patriot, I hope you will come in live. We are here live for sure. All right, let's see here. Jenny is here. Welcome. Happy Easter to you. We're here answering some comments and also checking out the markets. We're going to check them here in just a minute. Great video, Sal. Right up my street on this one. Well, thank you. 365 Days of Silver. Glad you enjoyed that. Bob's 5596 on the Salty Eagle video chimes in with this. A bigger change than 5 years in salt is that coin has gone from $18 to $70 during that experiment. That's true. You're right. It sure has. I've degraded the look of the coin and the finish, but the price has appreciated. A good point, indeed. I probably should have made that point as well. That's why I like this community. A lot of good comments for sure. All right, let's take a look here at the markets. Again, everything is in red. Everything is down. Gold down 1.33%, down $62, $4,616 right now. Silver down $1.10, down 1.5% to $72.06. Platinum is down 12. Palladium down 15 here tonight. So that's what we're looking at here. All right. And so Attorney Michael E. Lyon believes silver is going to hit $50 this week. It could. I don't know. It just depends. But right now, it's aligning with my short-term prediction that we'd get hit hard based off of the news we had last week, and even really now, and even what could happen Monday or Tuesday. So there it is. In fact, the poll, 53% of you, I'm going to close this poll out. 53% say that out of 473 votes that silver will not stay above $70 this week. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. Mirinda Guang says, I've been casting a lot of copper just to get the hang of how it works. Might maybe move to silver at a later date. Well, silver is a lot easier to work with copper, at least in my experience. So there it is. And happy Passover. Thank you, Willa. Happy Easter Passover and to you. And iodized, non-iodized. I think it's iodized, I believe. I think it's just regular sea salt is what I used on it. Let's see here. Buy dirt. Get rid of property tax. There you go. And dip, baby, dip. There you go. Dip on, baby. Dip on through to the other side. Hated but right is laughing. I don't know what the joke is, but okay. And we've got this comment here from Tejuli3223. It says, stronger central banks will gladly buy all the gold from the weak-handed central banks sell. It literally costs them nothing to buy it since they create currency out of thin air. So it seems the only reason a central bank would ever sell gold in the first place is exchange it for foreign currency reserves, not for more of their own garbage currency. That's exactly right. They're definitely not buying lira. Let's see here. Very good. And he says here, Eat Cal says, the U.S., Israel, and other militaries need gold and silver for missiles and other tech. They don't like to buy it at high prices, but it'll eventually go up in price figure when the supply is depleted. Yeah, and they're not really as concerned about price. They're just concerned about availability for silver. So they're not really concerned about the price as long as they can get a hold of it. All right. Let's get a few more here before we check the markets again. Trek Mario says here, yeah, don't want too much selenium, but you got to call the Ghostbusters. Okay. If you know, you know. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I think that was mentioned in Ghostbusters. Happy Easter. That's right. Good point. I love it. That's great. All right. Very, very good. So there's where the markets are right now. It's been that's where the comments are right now. We're going to look at the markets here in just a second. As we're now seeing silver back above $72 in the ask price. Bid price still just barely below it, but then down just 92 cents now. And gold is pulling back some of its losses. It's down now just $56.80, $4,621. Platinum is down 17, palladium down 9 right now. All right. So there's where we're at this point in time with the markets. Let's see here. So, and we'll look at the, check out the volume, and the volume here with we're starting to see silver kind of recovering. There it is. It's a lot of volume, a lot of opportunity buys happening right now for the volume for silver. Look at that. Interesting. What's going on with gold? Are we seeing the same type of activity with gold right now? No. It's up a little bit, but not by as much. There's people really getting in on silver right now. Look at that. Crazy. Now it's down just 72 cents. So look at that climb up there. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting indeed. Fascinating to see that move up. As you can see, that volume really picking up here because a market has just opened. Because we are literally 9 minutes after 8 right now. So we're seeing some of the markets open up here. And we're going to look and see which ones are where that's occurring. People taking advantage here right out of the gate. Probably setting at 72, under 72. It's a buy-in in the Asian markets right now. There it is. Tokyo and Korea. Tokyo and I think that's Seoul, Korea is doing it. That's what's open right now. So that's what we're seeing here. We'll watch this for a little bit and see what's happening there. We'll come back to that here in just a moment. Says the Stecky dude, much to small calculations, although we know the fundamentals hasn't changed. There's no reason for silver to be cheaper, but your criminal war state should make it happen. Yeah, he's one of those that's he's kind of shown his true colors in some of the other comments he's made lately. But anyways, rate crush is equal to a possible 2% downward movement. You got to be joking. Why does anyone viewer listen to this nonsense? Well, just because it happens a lot more does not mean that that in one day. And I should have made that more clear, but and people will pick it apart. Any little thing I say wrong or don't clarify on. And I should have said within one day, multiple moves of 2% downward movement is what I should have said. My videos aren't scripted, but anyways. So, but yeah, people are just overly critical. Victor Loma, sooner or later, banks will give up on lies and the silver will be more than gold. Well, I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. Sorry. I don't know how to respond to that. Jesus Gonzalez, that would be a dream come true. Silver back in the $25 an ounce. My truck is ready for the big refill back up. But twice, but these times to fill it silver to the moon. This is not April Fool's back up. Well, I don't think we're going to see that either, honestly. But anyways, let's see here. Silver Surfer. I would love to buy silver bullion at under 20 pound retail, but I don't think it will get much lower than 50. Germanium Mint is a fabulous company. Have some Germanium items in gold, silver, and copper bullion. Hold on to your bullion. Do not sell. There you go. I like that. Do not sell. I want to make my decisions based off your videos, all right? Well, you want to, but just be careful. Be warned. I warned you if you do that. Chris says here, I will take. The price of metals is manipulated because of the big corporations that have to buy it. More profits are big enough for them to be proven a deep corruption to pull strings, whatever they need. How else can you explain silver being so much lower than gold when it's used so much for industry? Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, it's priced precisely because gold is treasured as to why it's more. It's really about demand. It's really about demand, and that's what it boils down to. Silver is in demand from a whole lot of different areas at any given point in time, but it's not enough to affect the price as much as gold has because central banks have been buying a lot of it and holding it. Remember, gold is about 8 to 9 times more rare than silver, and so the demand fundamentals are more strong there than they are for silver, even with its variety of uses. And remember, it's consumed, and that consumption also means that you have room to restock from recycling, which we really have not really gotten a full, complete, and accurate representation of it yet, especially here lately as the refineries are clogged up with it. All right. Yes, indeed, that's right. That is nice to see that all of our pilots and airmen are safe after that attack, after the being shot down. Yes, God bless the men and women of our military. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see here. Yorkshire Pud, if you needed a lot of silver for your company and you were very rich, wouldn't you manipulate the market to make it cheap? But I don't know that there's that anybody has that possibility. I really don't. I mean, you may find some ways to be able to do it, but I don't know. You'd have to be like Warren Buffett plus to be able to do that. Unless you're buying just a lot of physical bars like David Bateman has. You get 10 or 12 David Batemans, that's a different story. Getting the actual physical. But even that is iffy because they'll just extend the derivatives market. Let's see here. Ben Homolka says this. It says on the U.S. government site that the dimes won't be available to everybody until April 17th. Well, you're getting that mixed up with the ones that are already in circulation starting in January. The ones on April 17th are the ones that are going to sell to the public. And I mentioned that in the video. I mentioned that very thing in the video. Another example is somebody who did not watch the video. Bob Mearsma says here, the skepticism comes primarily from the unfaithful friends who have been living on our couch, eating from our fridge, not paying any rent or buying groceries. UK, Greater Europe, Canada, and other losers. Yes. Well, I don't know that I would necessarily pigeonhole all of the skeptics in that regard. I just think they're essentially getting their news from alternative, from some media sources that don't. And I love alternative media, but a lot of alternative media can be wrong, and there's no, they just say what they want to say. How does this channel have so many subscribers? Well, just because you disagree with what I say, you should not, I don't know. It's crazy what people say, idiots. He's an absolute idiot. Absolute idiot, that guy is. All right, let's see here. Fake jobs report whole American economy and policy is a lie. The truth, silver is more valuable than ever. Ignore Trump's fake news. Silver is the real truth. I'm not buying the BS. I'm buying bullion. We'll buy bullion, and but there's going to be some truth in there. More truth coming out of Trump than who you voted for. No question about that. South Shore. He tells us silver dropping, then he shows us silver to buy. Bro, I think you should slow down on the herb. Well, you know, you didn't pay attention to what I said in the video about where to buy. So you didn't listen, or you're just twisting the words I say. Really, a 2% crush, that's less than the average these days. But still a big move. 2% move is big. And like I said, I should have clarified that it's in a day movement, multiple day movements downward. I got ahead of myself in talking, and people are picking apart that one section. So anyways. According to the professionals, a shortage is the fact. So again, the price is fake. Okay. All right, whatever. Mark got yourself. Silver goes up, silver goes down. Nothing has changed much. 1994 when I started stacking. Yes. Well, a lot of things have changed, though, since then. There's been a lot of changes. You can't deny the big changes. I mean, silver's way up abnormally from the times before. So we're in a new era for silver. No question about that. Michael Ramsey. So, Sal, you say silver's going to get crushed. We better back up the truck. If you want to make money, do the opposite of what you're told to do. You know, you make that decision on your own. I'm giving my opinions, a pretty strong opinion what I think is going to happen. And so far, at least at this point in time, the markets are bearing out to be the case. Silver almost fell 2%. In fact, it's starting to go back down again. There's mixed reaction here. It is now down 76 cents. It's still down at 1%. It was down over 2% earlier in the night. But it is still early. I think this whole week will decide whether or not I was right or not. But when I was saying 2% in this video, I meant to say 2% a day move or more on consecutive days. You know, that's what really being crushed is. And 2% move on any given day I don't care how many times it happens. If it's regular, that is still being crushed on a given day. Fastest way to get crushed, buy from Summit Metals. Okay, all right. So don't like Summit Metals. Well, let's remove that comment. That's unnecessary. Let's see here. Player 1, Turkey is apparently using large amounts of its gold reserves to try and defend its plummeting currency since the Iran conflict has begun. Yes, that's right. And like I said, it's kind of a revolving door of that happening there. But, okay, that's too long of a comment, but thanks for posting it. But sorry, I don't have time to read all that. Tom says, I would prefer a 10% flash crash and some same-say recovery creating a really nice hammer. Happy Easter. All right. 10% flash crash. And that could happen too. But I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying 2% gradual down based off of that news. If that news stays in effect, I think we're going to see that 2%, which will be crushed on any given day in multiple days happening. David, what are you saying? You may be right or you may be wrong. They're talking about using tactical nukes in Iran. Heaven help us. Well, I've not heard that talk at all. I don't know where you're getting your information, but I've not heard anything like that. Urban Redneck says, if silver takes a big fall, we stackers will be there to catch it. That's right. Exactly. All right. Thanks for the video, says Ben Baker, and thank you for watching. And he says this. Short term, I think down in all metals. The dollar is up, but I hope all of us here in the community hold tight and don't forget the fundamentals have not changed. How much silver in the missiles guidance systems? Also, didn't India just make home loans using silver as collateral on April 1st? Yes. Well, it's securities. It's a mutual funds. I think is really what that is. What specifically happened? Watch the video to find out. That's the answer to that question. I explained it very quickly there. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nameless says, so all your information statistics are those spooned from Trump's regime of corruption and lies, right down to quoting Trump. I mean, Trump's Bureau of Labor stats. Anyone jumping on what Trump says must be MAGA level fool. See, somebody's got TDS to the core. It's crazy, but anyways, all right. John Ferris, silver's going to crash unless, of course, it's completely wrong, and it doesn't. Yes. I always leave room for me to be wrong. I feel pretty good about this. So far, it's bearing itself out to be the case now, because even with an attempt, this big buying that we saw here, now it's mixed and mostly down. Now it's coming back down again. And because of those fundamentals, I believe. Now it's down over $1 again. So, all right. $45, $50 an ounce possible. Yes, that is possible. And Edwin Tan, MAGA, make America gold again. There you go. There you go. And let's see here. Always reverse. Don't believe the news. All right. And Willa, the price of silver is going up unless it goes down. Keep stacking, my friends. Or it just stays flat. That's a possibility too. A lot of people don't think about that, but it could be stay flat. RSI is falling. That's relative strength index we learned, and so there we go. And let's see what we've got happening here as we peruse our way through here. And Dean says this, and I quote directly, the chances he's quoting aren't actual chances. They're just what some people think. The chance is a half-point increase in rates is 0. It's a ridiculous idea. Well, yeah, that's what chances are. Essentially, the chances are based off of a poll of what people think. So it's semantics. You're just arguing semantics here. And usually those semantics or those chances of those polls tend to be right. Markets react on them. Crush equals on sale, cha-ching. That's right. Tammy, that's exactly right. Jobs are in the tank. Get it right. Not according to the latest data. Joey Landry, I don't trust anyone on YouTube who says they understand what is happening with precious metals. Just calm down and hold on what you got and plan to get more. That's right. Well, and that's okay. You don't have to trust me. I'm asking you just to research for yourself. I would love silver at 39. There will be none left. All right. Rollover says the last week alone, silver's range 68 to 76, which is more than 10%. Anything in the most recent range is norm at the moment, not a shock or a crash. All right, yeah, well, and like I said, we'll see. If we start to see 2% drops a day consecutively, that is going to be, that's going to be a pretty big deal. All right, well, folks, let's take a look one more time here. See what we've got here to close out this broadcast. Silver is down 91 cents right now to 72.24. Gold is down $58.80 to 46.19. So as we see, part of the Asian markets opening up, China and Korea, we've seen a little bit of a subduing of the dip. But hey, it's still early. We'll see how it goes when Shanghai opens up and other markets through the night. So there you go. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate your kindness and your viewership. It means a lot to me. Hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm going to leave you with this sage piece of advice, and that is to keep your feet on the stars and keep reaching on the ground, reaching for the ground. And also, please make sure to watch the videos that I posted today. I posted 3 of them, and I hope you will check them out. Appreciate you all so much. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be some very interesting news that I hope you don't miss. So have a wonderful evening. Take care, and we will see you back here live on Tuesday. But videos posted every day. Very kind. Take care. See ya.